This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and this is an unlisted stream. If it works out, I will publish it live. What I'm going to show you is I've been learning how to tat off of the ball or off of the skein. And I've been learning how to do rings and chains. That's what these are called, rings and chains. I was up all night last night, and I got up at 4:30 this morning to 3:30, 3:45 to stream this morning. And I did a stream for what, about 5 hours or so. And I was trying to keep myself awake so I could go to the post office with my brother. And so I was very tired. Well, don't tat when you're tired, because this is what happens. I was so proud of this. I got into this section here, especially this section. Now, I'm going to try to frog it, and by frogging, I mean clean it out, clear it out so I can continue working. The other option is to snip off the thread and kind of undo it and chain in another thread and go that way. But I thought I would try to frog it. So I think that what I need to do, and I'm going to zoom way in here. What I need to do is get a hold of the right thread, the needle thread. I don't want the thread, I don't think I want the thread going to, this thread is the one going to the ball or to the skein. And it's in there, but what I want, let me get them separated here. What I want is the needle thread. And the needle thread doesn't go anyplace. It's just one little. And let me get it on here in my tablet so I can make sure that you're seeing everything. Well, I have to skip the ads here. Yes, you see it pretty good. Now you're going to see my hands. Forgive my hands. I tried to keep my fingernails short and clean, but when you art, that's what happens. Let me set my quality up over here so I can see what I'm doing. All right, that's a pretty good picture of it. So what I want is my needle thread, because my needle thread is the thread that goes through each of these chains to pull it tight. And so what I want to do is grab a hold of my needle thread through each of these little loops if I can. And I've been pulling some of them out. It's a very slow process. It would be very frustrating, except if you do any kind of needlework at all. See how that's coming loose? I just undid one stitch there. If you do any kind of needlework at all, you know you're going to have to frog or rip out the mistakes. I would like to be able to continue working on with this. But, and then the other piece of advice to Meri is, Meri, don't tat while you're tired. Don't tat tired. Let's get this, separate this, whoops, ball thread as much as I can here. It's going to get in the way eventually, but whoops, this is the needle thread. The ball thread is this one. So I did get all my mail done today. I got a little bit of a story to tell you. I went to the post office. I had several things to mail. If you're waiting for Happy Mail, well, except unless you're waiting for Happy Mail from 5 years ago. But the most recent Happy Mail that I've been doing, envelopes, animal envelopes. Oh, let's wind this up here. It's getting caught in my needle thread. Anyway, I got them all mailed. Bought some more stamps. The other piece of advice I have is when you're running into something that looks like a knot like this, don't pull it tight. Knots are really just twists that want to tighten up. And if you just pull them loose, they'll be fine. I'm trying to get my needle thread separated here. All right, let's put this ball thread up this way. Hopefully I can keep it out of the way. Now you can see here pretty clear what a double stitch looks like. This is the head of it right here. This little horizontal stitch is called the head. And then there are two legs. And when I pull my thread up through the stitch, it goes, see, this is the needle thread that I'm pulling out. It goes up between them. So let's just see if I can continue pulling this out. And I don't know if I can undo the ring or not. The ring's not a very pretty ring. But what I did here, and the reason I'm pulling it out, is because I tatted the chain the wrong direction. I had it flipped the wrong way. And so, and it was an ugly looking thing. I should have, don't tat tired. Don't tat tired. I have a lot of things that I want to share with you of what I'm learning about tatting. I'm not an expert. There are experts out there, though. There are experts out there on the internet. And I'm just getting started with making a playlist of channels that I've been watching and information that I've been accumulating. And I have a lot more to share with you. And for the most part, what I'm doing is sharing. I'm not teaching. I'm not even venturing to teach with this. I'm just sharing what I'm learning, especially when I do mistakes like this. And I'm very happy that it's a process. It's a process getting this all undone, but I want to be able to tat it clean again. I want to be able to use it and continue on. Now this might be, and keep in mind that I'm doing this under the camera. I can't get it up to my nose like I'd like to. I don't think that's the, is that it right there? No, it's in here. So you just got to be patient with it. There it is. And as I pull it out, it gets shorter and shorter. And as it gets further down here, you can see these chain stitches are opening up. And that helps me to find my needle thread. And I think if I just kind of hold on to that skein thread or ball thread, it won't get as tangled up. Whoops. Is it this one? There we go. So, yeah, it looks like a scary process. But once you get at it and just go slow, and by the time you get it done, you go, yay! Now, I haven't attempted to undo a chain, a ring yet. Usually, after you pull these chains and rings tight and knot it, it's a work to get them undone. It isn't just like undoing one knot. You have to. I had 15 stitches plus my Picasso on the chain, so 16 stitches made up of two stitches. It's a double stitch. Whoops, I'm pulling on the wrong one. Where is it? I need to pull on this one. get this one out of the way. Again, I am zoomed way in, but I thought you might like to see this process. An expert might say, just throw it away, Meri, and start all over. But I want to save it. I was so proud of the first part of it here. It's really, I'm really proud of it, what I've done there. And yeah, don't tap tired. Look at I've got it. Well, it goes like this. I guess you can kind of call that one okay. It could be opened up. I'm going to see if I can't open this chain up, this ring up a little. See how small it is compared to it. Let's flip these. See, these rings are comparatively, this one's a little smaller, but these are comparatively the same size. And I guess this one kind of matches the first one over there. It's really not too bad, but I'm going to see if I can't open it up. I got one more stitch to do here. Let's see if I can't get a hold of that needle thread. Get my bobbin thread out of the way there. I think this is which one is it? It's in here. Come on. So I have a little story to tell you while I'm doing this. We went to the post office. I think I was talking about that. I had letters to mail. That's where I left off. I'm all caught up on my mailing except for the December giveaways that I did. And I'm going to try to get those out. And the February postcards are what I'm going to be mailing next. There it goes. And I paid for it and everything. And we went kind of right at, well, noon. And I looked at the bulletin board. And I noticed there was a notice there for a republishing of our small town here, Harvard, Nebraska, if you want to know where I'm at. I don't mind telling you. It's going to have its 150th year celebration next year. And they had their 100th celebration, I think their 100-year celebration, or their 125th, and they published a book about the history of this small town, which has quite a little history to it for a small Nebraska town. And all the little towns around here really do. Let's see if I can get this straightened out now. And they're going to reprint that book. And I wanted to write down the information. It was on the bulletin board at the post office that if you want to order a reprint of the book, and I do, but I didn't have a pen or paper with me. So I went back into the office and asked, which is a small post office. I asked the lady, I said, do you happen to have a pencil? I had junk mail that I got in the mail I was going to write down. Let's see if I can get this undone. Maybe I can. And she grabbed the pen and she said, you have 1 minute. She says, I'm going to go to lunch. Okay. I felt like saying, well, I'll just leave the pen at the door for you. But I didn't. So I went back there and I was writing all that information down on my junk mail as fast as I could. And I did it and I got it in there. I like the email address, yahoo.com. I just put Yahoo and the Harvard, the town here, and the information, I kind of abbreviated it. So I got it done pretty fast. This is kind of not good in here. I'm going to see if I can't make this chain a little larger and get it straightened out a little. It's kind of messy here. So I got it all turned in. I went back out. We get our newspaper in the mail now. Our mail boy said, I'm too tired. I'm not going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and deliver paper. So we get it through the mail. My brother likes the daily paper. He likes to read it and work his crossword puzzle and the whole thing. And so We just got that in junk mail today. That's all we got in the mail. And I took it back out in the car, and I wanted to go to the grocery store because we've been having some chilly weather here lately, and I was too tired I wanted to go shopping today, but I was really too tired to drive. When you're too tired, don't drive. Just, if you're too tired, don't tap. If you're too tired, don't drive. It's dangerous. See, I think I am going to be able to open up this ring a little. Let's open it up a little, make it a little larger, and I'm just going to pull the tats loose, make it a little larger if I can. What do I have going on over here? It goes like this. Hold on, let me. I think I'm going to be happy. I think I got it, guys. I think I got it. So anyway, I gave him his paper, and we went over to the store. I wanted to pick up a few things. Although we're going to be going tomorrow, too. Oh, yay, I cleaned that up. I'm so happy. And we got our purchases. We each got separate things. We paid for it separately. And he went out in the car to smoke a cigarette while I just kind of was browsing to see what they had in the store. I don't go over there too much. But I do appreciate having a grocery store in town. You know, it's just nice if you want milk and bread. And, you know, I bought some cookies because I'm out of cookies. And we have no eggs, and I forgot to get eggs. But anyway, now I'm just going to give this a little tie here. I'll talk about the loops and the ties and all of that in another video. I'm just going to secure this. I opened it up a little bit more. I think I can open it a little bit more too, make it a little larger. And I went back out in the car, and my brother said, "Where are my keys?" He had given me the keys to get into the post office, the box, and the mailbox of the post office. And I go, what did I do with them? What did I do with those keys? We looked all over. And it was noon. And so the post office lady had gone to lunch. And I have to say, I'm so proud of my brother. He did not yell at me. He didn't say anything mean, or, you know, he just, you know, well, what are we going to do now? Because on his keys, he had the house keys. We couldn't get into the house. And so we sat in the car for about 5 minutes or so, deciding what we're going to do. And I said, well, we're just going to sit here. I was getting tired of sitting there. And so he drove around town, just kind of went on the outskirts of town. And we kind of went by a couple houses that were for sale. I think I can start tatting on this now. Yay! And anyway, by the time we got back, and she is done with her lunch, and I went in there and kind of had to wait for her to open up. And I said, I was writing down that information, and I think I put my keys down to put my gloves back on and return your pen. And the keys, it was out in the lobby, but the keys were no longer there. And I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, did somebody turn him in? And she said, no, nobody turned him in. And she said, well, let me look in the drop box, because it's a small post office, and she could get in the drop box and hunt around in there and see if any keys fell to the bottom. And no, they weren't there. And she said, I don't know what to tell you. And I'm going, I don't want to go back out in the car with no keys. But I had to. And so right next to our post office is the library. And so I thought, well, maybe somebody picked them up and took them to the library, because the post office was closed for noon hour. And so I went over and talked to the librarian. She was there, and she said, no, nobody's turned anything in. She said, let me check the drop box. The drop box at the library is the same for the city, our little town city, as it is for the library. It's all city related. No, nobody dropped them in there. And we chatted for a while, and she likes to talk, and I like to visit with her. So I thought about it, and I thought, I don't want to go back out in the car. tell my brother that there are no keys. We can't get in the house. We're going to have to call a locksmith and have all the locks changed. And the had his car keys on there, the house keys, and the post office all on the same ring. And I lost it. And do you know, this is the one time that I went with my brother that I didn't carry my own set of keys. And I usually, he kind of says, you don't need your keys, or, you know, you're not going to drive, and I carry them anyway. And I always carry my keys with me, just in case I have to have them, like today. And this is the one day, probably since I've been down here, that when I ride with him, I did not take my keys. Because I have keys to the house, too. And so we were kind of frustrated. What are we going to do? And then I thought, you know, we went to the grocery store. I wonder, I don't know why I would have taken those keys into the grocery store, because I must have just had them in my hand with my billfold. But there they were. I had them in my hand, and when I went to pay for my groceries, I set the keys down. And just not even thinking, I walked out because I didn't need my keys in the grocery store. And the minute I walked in the door, the cashier said, your keys are here. Guys, you don't know what relief feels like. You don't know what relief feels like. And I just was so thankful that we could get back in our house this afternoon. But the story of it, well, the good thing about it is I'm so proud of my brother that, you know, he could have been very annoyed with me. He could have been, you know, very abrupt with me, very angry with me, you know, and he was so good to me. I expected a little anger from that. You know, like, I'm never going to give you my house keys again. Yeah, he was very good. But the other good thing was that when I was chatting with the librarian, now this is a small town, and the library here in town, it's a small library, and it's run by the city, the little town library. And the librarian asked me, you know, I told her, I had said to her while we were chatting, I said I should just come in here more often and just visit with you, because nobody else was in the library, and we just like to talk. And she looked at me and she said, what do you do all day, you know? And I said, well, I go online. I'm on my phone a lot. I sleep. I do housework. I'm retired. And she said she's looking for somebody to fill in for her part-time, just when she needs to have a day off, or you know, she needs to get something done. You know, she needs to take her vacation. And so I looked at the library hours. I asked her, you know, doesn't pay a whole lot, but it pays enough to buy me some art supply, to buy me some batting thread. And so, and it'll only be on a as needed basis. It won't be on a regular schedule, as far as I know. And I said, yeah, I would be interested in doing that. All the hours seem to fit in, except for maybe the Friday hours, but that would probably be on an as needed basis anyway. So I don't know. She was considering a couple other people that she told me about. The lady who was doing it passed away, was younger than both of us, and she got cancer and passed away, and she's looking for somebody just to fill in for her, to substitute. So Meri might become the substitute librarian in our little town. I don't know. I said, you think about it. I gave her my name and number, and I said I would be more than happy to come in, especially if I get paid a little. And it won't be like on a regular basis. It isn't like a part-time job. It's just a fill-in. When, you know, everybody likes to have their days off, that type of thing. So it'll be an opportunity for me to get out of the house. Although I got yard work coming up, but I don't work in the yard in the heat of the day. A lot of the library hours are from like 12 to 4. It's only open 4 hours a day, the library. So I told my brother, and I said, maybe this was to be. Maybe I lost my keys just so I'd walk into that library, and our conversation, you know, I might be able to make a little money on the side. And I would appreciate that because YouTube advertising, the way I hear it is the first quarter of the year, YouTube advertising is not the best. The advertiser, and I don't understand that. Uh, YouTube, if you're listening out there, well, it's probably not YouTube's fault. It's the way advertisers work. After the holidays, they don't buy as many ads after the holidays. But I've asked around, and I know my views have gone up, my watch time has gone up, my subscribers have gone up, and some of the people I've talked to, their watch time has gone up, their views has gone up, their subscribers gone up, but their monetization goes down because the advertisers aren't buying as many ads. They have less ads to stretch around to more people. So, I just watch my monetization. I feel like, man, work 5 hours and get $3 taken away instead of that. And, the ads, the videos for me don't amount to much anyway. I don't make a lot of money, but I make enough. And yeah, I'll say again, what I like about YouTube is you guys. I'm here because of you. This is the year of you. I'm here because of you, and you guys have always supported me verbally, and you come to my chats, you come to the streams, many of you. I feel like I know as friends, not just virtual friends. And I miss the folks that I don't see anymore. I miss them. And I feel like I've lost some relationships, and I miss those relationships. And some relationships, people just have to go on with their life. Here, I'm just rambling on. You can look at my pretty tatty. Some people just need to go on with their life. They got other things that need to be done. So, and I'm going to be missing my skin and bones friend that I made last year. We kind of have the same belief system, and we got along really good. But her husband passed away, and she's moving. She's moving out of town. She sold her house and going to buy a new house, and so I'm not going to have a skin and bones friend here. So maybe a part-time job might be. That's not even part-time job. It's on a on-call basis, which is okay with me because I got plenty to do. So, but anyway, what I don't understand about the advertising, I think those advertisers need to rethink their strategy. They need to ask Meri about this, because when watch time goes up, that means more people are watching more videos and views are going up and people are subscribing to more channels. Why aren't they, for us people that are monetized, why aren't they putting ads out there? It would think if I were working for an advertising company, I would be saying, hey, this is an opportunity for us. Let's just not follow the old mode of, we had Christmas, now we're going to sit back for a little while. Let's get out there and market our product while there's people watching all these videos. So if you're an advertiser out there and if you're listening to my channel, my watch time is up. People are watching more. My views are up. There's more people watching my videos, and I think a lot of people that I've talked to have said the same thing. What's the use of me putting in 10 hours of work and getting 96 cents? I'm not complaining. I'm just kind of stating the fact. It's not a complaint because I like YouTube, but it's an observation. It can get very discouraging. But you guys have encouraged me all the way. You guys send me happy mail. You come into my streams. I'm here because of you. And look, I cleaned up my tatty. Now I can redo this chain here. I want to see how long I can make it. Now, I'll probably stop it. I think my tap book is like 9 inches tall. I'll probably stop at 9 inches because I'll probably put this in my book. So thank you for watching, and don't drive tired, but don't tap tired, or you'll have a date with a frog. Bye for now.